Welcome, everybody, to the hero's journey of love. We just heard the Beatles, All You Need Is Love, which opens us up to where we're at today with this heroic journey of love. And I want to dive right into what we're talking about, this idea, because when we say love, it means different things to different people. So it's really important to explore that and say, what is this thing called love? So there's some research about this. As a matter of fact, at UC Berkeley, they've been doing some fantastic work at the Greater Good Science Center, and they've broken it down into a couple of categories, pointing at some of the research about love. Some suggest that there may be, seven main types of love, and here's some of the ones they break it down. One, self-love, meaning paying attention, acceptance, and nurturing yourself. Two, romantic love. That's the one we're usually most familiar with. And frankly, most of the films we'll look at today will have some spark of that. That holiday piece with Valentine's Day tends to be about passion, intimacy, commitment. But there's also familial love, instinctive, selfless, and sacrificial, right? That we feel within our own families. The companionate type of love, which is an intimate, committed, and mutually respectful type of care, may not have familial bonds, may not be romantic, and yet still it is love. And then compassionate love, which is a caring and a concern and tenderness, regardless of what is or isn't reciprocated. This often has to do with the more universal type of love, a species wide, or even, just a broad based life type of feeling of love, the fact of being alive at all. And then loving across differences, including perspectives and identities of those outside of our known world, okay? We're expanding the idea of what love might be when we do that. And then finally, love of strangers. Once again, the universal love for all, the global kinship, interconnectedness, unconditional and boundless. So these are some of the ways we consider love, some of the ways the research has pointed to. And this is my first ask of you. I'll do several of these. If you would, in the chat right now, fill in the blank. Love is, for those of you who are Peanuts fans, you may know there is a lot of great answers to this, but for all of you, I want you to go ahead and fill in the blank. Love is, what is love to you? Because we all look at it, we all notice it, we feel it, and we experience it differently. So I see that love is togetherness and love is wonderful. Love is a connection of hearts. Beautiful. Love is patient, we hope, kindness and generosity, knowing when to say I'm sorry, tenderness, warm hugs, musical. Oh, look at the love's flowing. You guys are doing a great job here on the chat. So continue to put that in there. What is love? Love is, and you tell me. Let's go forward with that. Now, as it applies to the way we're going to look at it today, what is this hero's journey? Well, there's 12 steps to the hero's journey, and they are broken down by the films we'll be looking at today. First, the ordinary world. This is when our hero or heroes have things as they pretty well understand them. That's going to change, though, in the call to adventure, the second stage, when something disrupts the ordinary world. In fact, it's going to push us into a quest or an adventure. And if you've ever had something push you into something new or uncomfortable, one of the first things you do usually is say no. And that's why we have stage 3, the refusal of the call, because it's often too scary, too big. And love can be that very, very, very too scary feeling. At that point, we often meet the mentor, stage 4. And this is when we learn a little about love, or whatever the quest that may be, that gets the hero wherever he, she, or they need to be to move forward. With that confidence, they move into the 5th stage, crossing the threshold. And once they've crossed the threshold into the special world, no longer in the ordinary world, they're going to face tests, allies, and enemies. After they've been in that stage for a little bit, they realize, I really want something. And when they really want something, that's going to bring up a fear. Oh my gosh, I want something. Am I worth having it? What if I lose it? What if I lose myself? They go forward anyway into the ordeal, the 8th stage. And in the ordeal, this is where those two things collide. What I want most and what I fear most, they come together. And somehow the hero survives and they receive a reward of some kind, maybe tangible, or it may be confidence, could be emotional, spiritual, or it could be an item. And then with that, they realize, I've got to take this reward, this new thing I've gained, back to the ordinary world. So they take the road back in the 10th stage, where they're often chased by whatever they fought in the ordeal. Have they really earned this reward? In the resurrection, the 11th stage, something has to die. Something sometimes that's a person, a character, could be even someone very beloved, or it may be a feeling, it may be a characteristic. something, a belief system that no longer fits the hero. And finally, the 12th stage, the return with the elixir, where the hero comes home and realizes that journey that he, she, or they went on wasn't in fact for them. It was for the people back in the ordinary world. So that's the hero's journey, and we're going to apply it to love with our first film of the day, which is Harry Met Sally. And Harry and Sally here in their ordinary world are, in fact, students at the University of Chicago. They are strangers. Okay, he's filled out a board, a little memo saying, "I need a ride" on an 18-hour road trip. And they're going to find out pretty quickly that their ordinary worlds, death and love, the way they see all those things, it's all very different when Harry met Sally.
I love this year to stay.
I love you.
I love you.
Not for all year, but ever and a day. On the radio and the telephone, that we know may just be fancy.
Oh, hi, Sally. Sally, this is Harry Burns. Harry, this is Sally Albright.
Nice to meet you.
You want to drive the first shift?
No, you're there already. You can start.
Back's open.
Call me.
I'll call you as soon as I get there.
Oh, call me from the road.
I'll call you before then.
I love you.
Love you.
Sorry.
I miss you already.
I miss
Huh?
you.
I miss you already. Bye.
Bye.
I have it all figured out. It's an 18-hour trip, which breaks down into 6 shifts of 3 hours each, or alternatively, we could break it down by mileage. There's a map on the visor that I've marked to show the locations where we can change shifts.
Grape?
No, I don't like to eat between meals.
I'll roll down the window. Why don't you tell me the story of your life?
Story of my life?
We've got 18 hours to kill before we hit New York.
The story of my life isn't even going to get us out of Chicago. I mean, nothing's happened to me yet. That's why I'm going to New York.
So something happened to you?
Yes.
Like what?
Like I'm going to journalism school to become a reporter.
So you can write about things that happen to other people.
That's one way to look at it.
Suppose nothing happens to you. Suppose you live there your whole life and nothing happens, you never meet anybody, you never become anything, and finally you die, one of those New York deaths that nobody notices for 2 weeks until the smell drifts into the hallway.
Amanda mentioned you had a dark side.
That's what drew to me.
Your dark side.
Sure. Why, don't you have a dark side? No, you're probably one of those cheerful people who dots their eyes with little hearts.
I have just as much of a dark side as the next person.
Oh, really? When I buy a new book, I always read the last page first. That way, in case I die before I finish, I know how it ends. That, my friend, is a dark side.
That doesn't mean you're deep or anything. I mean, yes, basically I'm a happy person.
So am I.
And I don't see that there's anything wrong with that.
Of course not. You're too busy being happy. You ever think about death?
Yes.
Sure you do. A fleeting thought that drifts in and out of the transom of your mind. I spend hours. I spend days.
And you think this makes you a better person?
Look, when the shit comes down, I'm gonna be prepared, and you're not. That's all I'm saying.
In the meantime, you're gonna ruin your whole life waiting for it. You're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
You're wrong.
He wants her to leave. That's why he puts her on the plane.
I don't think she wants to stay.
Of course she wants to stay. Wouldn't you rather be with Humphrey Bogart than the other guy?
I don't want to spend the rest of my life in Casablanca married to a man who runs a bar. That probably sounds very snobbish to you, but I don't.
You'd rather be in a passionless marriage
And be the first lady of Czechoslovakia.
than live with a man you've had the greatest sex of your life with just because he owns a bar and that is all he does.
Yes. And And so would any woman in her right mind. Women are very practical, even Ingrid Bergman, which is why she gets on the plane at the end of the movie.
I understand.
What? What?
Nothing.
What?
Forget about it.
What? Forget about what?
It's not important.
Now, just tell me.
Obviously, you haven't had great sex yet.
So there is the beginning of our ordinary world. This is a this is a very highly charged romance that doesn't look like it could be a romance, which makes it a better romance right away. And that leads us, of course, to our next stage, which is the call to adventure. And as we move to a different film, this is The Notebook. And in The Notebook, two other characters right now, they're star-crossed lovers. They're different sides. He's from the wrong sides of the tracks. And this is, you know, very common in love stories, in these romantic love stories, right? They're all derivative of Romeo and Juliet. We don't have a Romeo and Juliet clip today because we have derivatives of Romeo and Juliet. Pyramus and Thisbe, if you go back further, right? This is the call to adventure. It's either I will get this love or I will die. And these extraordinarily high stakes are what make love stories like this work. Let's see Noah and Allie in The Notebook.
Little man wins a prize. Thank you for playing.
You're real funny. Man, I clobbered that thing. I'm telling you, these games are fixed. Hello. Hi. What's your name?
Who's this girl with Sarah?
Her name's Allie Hamilton. She's here for the summer with her family. Dad's got more money than God. Hi, honey. Look, I won you a prize.
Yeah. You want some cotton candy? You want to dance with me?
No,
Why not?
because I don't want to.
Noah? She's with us. Hey, Allie, you want to ride the Ferris wheel?
That sounds like a good idea.
I'd love to.
All right.
Excuse me. Okay. Excuse me.
Noah Calhoun. What? Works down from Lumberyard with Finn. Did you say he was standing like 2 inches away from my face? Yeah, I saw. That's Noah, though. You know, I'm surprised he even came over. I think he likes you.
Hey! What are you doing?
You can't do that! I'll pay you when I get down, Tommy.
I'm Noah Calhoun.
So?
So it's really nice to meet
Allie,
you.
who is this guy?
I don't know. Noah Calhoun.
I would really like to take you out.
Friend, do you mind?
You can't sit more than 2 people in a chair, Noah!
Okay, Tommy, all right.
Get down, Noah! You're gonna kill yourself!
Noah, cut it out!
You want to go out with me?
What? No!
No.
No!
No.
Hey, pal, she just told you.
Why not?
I don't know, because I don't want to.
Noah!
All right, well, you leave me no other choice then.
Oh, my God.
I'm not kidding, Noah! Stop fooling around!
What are you doing?
Oh, wait, grab the
I'm
ball.
gonna ask you one more time. Will you? Or will you not go out with me? God damn, my hand's slipping.
Then grab the bar, you idiot!
Not until she agrees.
Oh, go out with him, honey.
Okay, fine. I'll go out with you.
No, don't do me any favors.
No, I want to.
You want it.
Yes!
You want it.
Say it.
I want to go out with you.
Say it again.
I want to go out with you.
All right, we'll go out.
You think you're so smart, don't you?
That wasn't funny, Noah, you idiot!
No, it's okay. I'll take care of this.
What are you doing? Please don't do that. Just don't do that part either. I can't believe it. Oh, God.
You're not so cocky now, are you?
I'm gonna get you for that.
Oh, maybe you will, maybe you won't.
Maybe you will, maybe you won't. The stakes are extraordinarily high in love, and the links we'll go to in order to get it are massive. So there's the call to adventure. However, even when love comes calling, there is a fear, there is a problem, there are things that get in our little and even a what may feel like a perfect love. And in Deadpool, believe it or not, there's a great love story between Wade and Vanessa. And what's gotten in the way is cancer. And it's tragic and it's awful. And they're trying to figure out how their love can survive cancer. And it means they're going to have to go and find somewhere to find a cure for this cancer. So this is what they do. They head down, as we'll see, to Guadalajara. And well, Wade, as it appears, has no love for those who take advantage of those trying to get past this terrible disease. A quick note, this does have violence in it. So for those who are sensitive in that regard, just beware. It is a love story. However, it's done through a particular lens, and that's Deadpool. Here we go.
Guadalajara, Mexico. The cancer research capital of I'm just fucking with you. Where are you from? Oh, the fancy part of Mexico.
We moved in with our son to afford the treatment.
Cancer? Sorry, cancer?
Yeah. Stage 4.
It's the toughest part of the Tour de France.
Very hilly.
You logging some frequent flyer miles?
Yeah, it's our last stop on our Desperation World Tour.
No cheques de viajero. No pesos. Cash. Americano. Chupa Chups cuestan extra.
Hey! That's on me. Here you go.
Señor, Ave Solomón. Nada más su esposo.
You are a handsome couple. Good luck to you.
What you may not know is that I hit fuck it 2 countries and 3 phony doctors ago. And once you see enough desperate people ripped off, you start to feel the itch.
Muy bien, señor Salomón. Relájese.
Sorry, Doc. No habla español.
Mr. Salomón, relax. I got you tumor. You see? Está curado, amigo.
Thank you, doctor. You saved my life.
De nada. Good luck. Next, siguiente.
Already here, hombre.
You surprised me. How long you standing over there?
Long enough. Smells like chicken. You looking for this?
And we see in those desperate moments the power of love and the pain of love and the desperate things that people do in the face of love. And again, the many types of love. Remember the way we've talked about it, not just romantic love, but in this case, we see love of others. We see protection of others. We see different ways it's approached. So with that in mind, we've been through 3 stages and 3 very different clips and approaches to love. I ask all of you, you tell me, What is love? And there are some great things. If anyone wants to, you can raise your hand and I'll give you a call. But there are some great things here in the chat. Karen, I see you. Go ahead and unmute yourself. You tell me, what is love?
Very complicated, and yeah, it's bigger than all of us, depending on all these different types. Yeah. But I like the reminder of Harry Met Sally. I haven't seen that in so long, other than, you know, the weekend's recap. But great picks as always.
Complicated, bigger than all of us. Very important. Thank you for that, Karen. Anybody else? Any initial thoughts after looking at three different looks at love and the first three stages of the hero's journey? I see BJ. Yes, BJ.
I'm confused by the refusal of the call. Can you explain how that fits in?
Sure. So the refusal is, in this case, a refusal to quit. That basically cancer has come to him and he's on death's doorstep. However, as he says, you know, I hit F it 2 times ago, but I'm still here to fight. He will not give in to this case. That the call to adventure is a call to death in that sense. He's a mercenary by trade. That's, you know, he's the merc with a mouth. So he refuses death and he chooses love in a very violent way. So, yeah. Well, let's take a look at those 3 scenes. Oh, yes, Kelly, go ahead as I pull this up, please.
Oh, it's love is very adaptable and it can change from moment to moment. It don't necessarily how I love at this moment. I'm gonna love at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Depending on the circumstances, it could radically change.
It's so important you say that love is not one thing for even one person, right? It's very different for all of us, depending on the time of day, the weather outside. All of these conditions can change the way we feel about it or manifest it. So very important things. As we reflect back on these films, we take a look at Harry Met Sally, right? Our first film. And one of the great quotes from that film that comes much later is they say, when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible. This is the romantic feeling about it, right? In the Call to Adventure and Notebook, we see kind of the desperate, the young love, as it were, put more forward in what I've got to have. And it is said at one point that the best love is the kind that awakens the soul and makes us reach for more. So it starts as one thing and then it transforms. And then we see in the refusal of the call in this Deadpool story that, again, a very different kind of love. Some of the best stories start with a murder. And that's exactly what this is. It's a love story that, remember, you know, that transformation can be painful sometimes too, because love forces us to change. It makes us into something or someone else at times, right? We grow in love. So the next question is for all of you, and feel free to add this to the chat. What are the benefits of love? We see it's not just as easy and as fun as being whimsical. It is a lot more than that. It is life or death, right? The stakes are extraordinarily high with love. So what are the benefits of love? In other words, why do it? Why engage in love? Go ahead and drop that in the chat. And as you do that, I'm going to go ahead and move us on to our next stage of the hero's journey, which is when we meet the mentor. We're going to go back to a film called Somewhere in Time in 1980. Impossibly handsome and beautiful Jane Seymour and Christopher Reeve in this one. Christopher Reeve is Richard, a young playwright. Well, he becomes fascinated by a historical photo of a woman named Elise. And after some mysterious old woman tells him to come back to her, he finds a way to do just that through hypnosis. This is fantasy, right? This is time travel. She is Elise. He finds her, his mentor, in the greatest love he will ever know.
Yes. Are you all right?
Yes, I'm quite all right.
I'm sorry if I startled you.
No, you didn't startle me.
I think I did.
Oh, I think he did too. This is a transfer somewhere in time, the time travel, the move to where somewhere love might be perfect. And as those of you know have seen it, it's never perfect. In fact, there's a lot they have to deal with. So goes the hero's journey of love. Let's move on to our next stage, which is the crossing of the threshold. And in another epic classic love story, and this is another set of star-crossed lovers, we see Jack and Rose. And Rose is from a other side, where very highbrow world, and she's become trapped. She knows that she can't exist to be the person she wants to be in that world. And Jack's offering her something different, something primal, something she can taste and touch and feel and even dance to in the underbelly of the Titanic.
I'm gonna dance with her now, all right? Come on. Come on. Come with me.
Jack, wait. I can't do this.
We're gonna have to get a little bit closer. Like this. You're still my best girl, Cora.
I don't know the steps.
Neither do I. Just go with it. Don't think.
So this is love. This is the crossing of the threshold, the giving into what it might be, what it feels like. You see the way they mirror each other, the way they move with each other. They have to get closer to each other. They have to experience it. Love is a dance. Let's take a look at the final stage of this particular section, which is the test allies and enemies. Now that we've crossed the threshold, well, it's time that we figure out how badly do we want this thing. And by the way, it's not going to be an easy journey. There's going to be people along the way that are going to block us. In this case, Wesley's on a quest to find Buttercup and show her, in fact, he's not dead, and prove to her that he is the man that she should be married to. Along the way, one of the tests he's going to face, well, this is Inigo Montoya. And he is sworn, Inigo is, to avenge his father's death, a different type of love. This is familial love, and the swords are crossed. The Avengers of love will fight.
You seem a decent fellow. I hate to kill you. You seem a decent fellow. I hate to die. Begin. You're using Bonetti's defense against me, huh?
I thought it fitting, considering the rocky terrain.
Naturally. You must expect me to attack with Capaferro.
Naturally. But I find that Tybalt cancels out Capaferro. Don't you?
Unless the enemy has a study, he's a Grippa. Which I have. You are wonderful. Thank you. I've worked hard to become so. I admit it, you are better than I am. Then why are you smiling? Because I know something you don't know. And what is that? I am not left-handed. You're amazing. I ought to be after 20 years. Oh, there's something I ought to tell you. Tell me. I'm not left-handed either.
Who are you?
No one of consequence.
I must know.
Get used to disappointment.
Okay. Kill me quickly.
I would soon destroy a stained glass window as an artist like yourself. However, since I can't have you following me either.
Yes, this is love. We see it in so many ways, in so many different reasons why we fight for love, we feel for love. So I ask all of you, what have you noticed so far in these 6 very different stages? Is there a moment? Is there a line? Is there anything that leads out to you to go, that's the truth of love for me. That reflects a piece of love for me. Or maybe even that just inspires something about love, whether it makes you laugh, it makes you cry, it makes you wonder. Anything about love that you'd like to share with the group at this point? I see BJ. Yes, BJ.
There's always a respect and acceptance of the other person, but there's also something that's pulling you and making you do things you wouldn't normally do.
Yes, absolutely. I see here in the comments, reading a couple, that love brings us alive. It makes us risk and elucidate what is deepest in us. I love that. It's acceptance and acknowledgement. Being seen, to love is to be truly human. It's the willingness to give of yourself, and it feels so good, both to give it and receive it. Love is music. I see that too, and love hurts. So we must be willing to allow the pain in order for love to fully develop. This is amazing. So all of you have these different feelings and representations of love, and I want you to continue to explore those and share those. And I thank you so much for using the chat in such a way that we can do that in a timely manner. Before we go forward with our next stage, because this is when things now get pretty serious, we start talking about the approach to the inmost cave. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to share about either the hero's journey and how it relates to love, or anything in any of the clips you've seen so far? I see Karen. Yes, Karen.
Just how you concluded the bromance of the fighters. That was cool, because he couldn't kill him. He was too good. But I can't have you follow me either. Boom.
Just as soon destroy a stained glass window. Yeah. Well, let's take a look at those. Let's bring them back together, these last 3 films we've seen, so we can get a little bit more from them before we journey on. That in Somewhere in Time, that later on she says, the man of my dreams is almost faded now. The one I have created in my mind, the sort of man each woman dreams of in the deepest and most secret reaches of her heart. A very, very romantic version of love. And then in Titanic, I'll never let go. And we saw them dancing together. We saw them holding on by a thread, and the thrill and the terror of that moment and why they couldn't let go. And we also know the echo of that line as he freezes to death at the end of the movie. And then in The Princess Bride, love is many things, none of them logical. So the different versions of love and why it comes forward. Well, it brings forward my next question for you all, and please put this in the chat. How can we cultivate love? What are the different ways that if we agree it's something that is important, if we agree it's something we want, what are the different ways that we can actively be involved in growing, in making more love, as it were, be available for ourselves and others? How can we make the world a more loving place? Here we go into the approach to the inmost cave. We're going to the West Side Story. That's right. We're going back to 1961. Tony and Maria, well, you get it by now. They are star-crossed lovers. Once again, very Romeo and Juliet, right? And because it's a musical, well, they're going to sing about the place they need to find, a place where they can have peace and quiet and open air somewhere. Let's take a listen.
Stay with me.
Maria, I love you so much.
Don't leave me.
Whatever you want, I'll do.
Hold me.
Oh, forever.
Tighter.
It'll be all right. I know it. We're really together now.
But it's not us. It's everything around us.
Then I'll take you away when nothing can get to us. Not anyone or anything.
A place for us, somewhere a place for us, peace and quiet and open air, wait for us somewhere.
There's a time for us, someday a time for us, time together with time to spare, time to look, time to care, someday.
Somewhere we'll find a new way of living.
We'll find a way of forgiving There's a place for us, a time and place for us. Hold my hand and we're halfway there. Hold my hand and I'll take you there. Somehow, someday,
Indeed, this is where they find each other, and yet they know they can't stay together because the outside world too much doesn't want them to be together. They are from different cultures, they are from different tribes, as it were, and so this is their lot. Very painful as it seems. In another look here in The Ordeal, we're going to deal with a different type of love, aging love, and take a look at what it means to be a long-term couple living with a different view of the world, with the idea that death is on the doorstep and how we make the most of what we have with the time we have left. This is eternal between Ethel and Norman. They've been in love for much longer than they haven't. And the thought of losing each other, well, that's flat out terrifying. Let's take a look.
Why don't you take these buckets and go pick us another quart of strawberries, and I'll fix us up a scrumptious strawberry shortcake for lunch. Go on.
You want me to pick strawberries?
Yup. Do I have to put an ad in the paper?
I'm not sure know how to pick strawberries.
It's really very simple, Norman. You bend over and you pick them.
Bend over?
Hmm.
Where are they?
On the ground where they belong.
Just tell me pick blueberries on a bush. You didn't have to bend over at all.
These are strawberries and they grow on the ground.
Oh, here comes what's his name. He'll have the paper, you know. I don't want to miss any career opportunities. Off looking for strawberries.
I'll pay you, Norman. Maybe the beginning of something big. You may become a major strawberry picker.
Not if I'm bending over, old John. I think you're trying to kill me.
I thought about it.
You needn't bother. I'm living on borrowed time as it is.
Will you take your cheery personality and get out of here?
I hope you're prepared to massage my bent back this evening.
With pleasure.
Maybe I can lie down to pick the berries.
Oh, Norman, are you back already? You barely left.
Oh, move fast. Ran all the way, picked that stop, and ran all the way back.
Let me see what you got.
Oh, just dumping in with yours.
No. Not a single berry. What's the matter with you?
Must have eaten them all. Retired people sought for hand-bill delivery. Some walking involved. I should call. I can walk.
Is that why you came rushing back here to read those goddamned ads?
You want to know why I came back so fast? I got the end of our lane. I couldn't remember where the old town road was. One little way in the woods, there was nothing familiar, not one damn tree. Scared me half to death. That's why I came running back here to you. See your pretty face. I could feel safe. I was still me.
You're safe, you old poop. And you're definitely still you. Picking on poor old Charlie. After lunch, after we've gobbled up all those silly strawberries, we'll take ourselves to the old town road. We've been there 1,000 times, darling. 1,000. And you'll remember it all. Listen to me, mister. You're my knight in shining armor. Don't you forget it. You're gonna get back on that horse. And I'm gonna be right behind you, holding on tight. And away we're gonna go, go, go.
I don't like horses. You are a pretty old dame, aren't you?
Oh.
What are you doing with a daddy or some bitch like me?
Well, I haven't the vaguest idea.
And we see the dance of love in a very different stage of life, and the acceptance of what is coming between them, the passage of time. And so we move forward after the ordeal, after the scary part, into a reward. What's next? Well, let's take a look. In the reward, we get a different version of love. This is Woody Allen and Diane Keaton, of course. And some lovers, well, they can just never figure it out, back and forth and back and yada, yada. They just go on. And, you know, sometimes they make up and they're just to break up, and then they break up just so they can make up again. Alvy Singer and Annie Hall.
Oh,
Are you okay? What's the matter? Are you all right? What?
there's a spider in the bathroom.
What?
There's a big black spider in the bathroom.
That's what you got me here for at 3 o'clock in the morning because there's a spider in the
Oh
bathroom?
my God! I mean, you know how I'm about insects. I can't sleep with a live thing crawling around in the bathroom.
Kill it! For God, what's wrong with you? Don't you have a can of Raid in the house?
No.
I told you 1,000 times you should always keep a lot of insect spray. You never know who's going to crawl over.
I know. And a first aid kit and a
Jesus.
fire extinguisher.
All right, give me a magazine, because I'm a little tired. You know, you joke with them about me, you make fun of me, but I'm prepared for anything, an emergency, a tidal wave, an earthquake. Hey, what is this? What? Did you go to a rock concert?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, really? Really? How'd you like it? Was it, I mean, was it heavy? Did it achieve total heaviosity, or was it?
It was just great.
Oh, I got a wonderful idea. Why don't you get the guy that took you to the rock concert? We'll call him, and he can come over and kill the spider. You know,
I called you. You want to help me or not, huh?
What is this? Since when do you read the National Review? What are you turning into?
Well, I like to try to get all points of view.
Well, wonderful. Then why don't you get William F. Buckley to kill the spider?
Alvy, you're a little hostile. You know that? Not only that, you look thin and tired.
Well, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You got me out of bed. I ran over here. I couldn't get a taxi cab. You said it was an emergency. I ran up the stairs. But I was a lot more attractive when the evening began. What are you going with a right-wing rock and roll star?
Would you like a glass of chocolate milk?
Hey, what am I, your son? What do you mean? I came over
I got the good chocolate.
Yeah,
Alvy. I
where's
know
the
you love
spider?
it. It's in
Where's
the bathroom.
it in the bathroom?
Mhm.
Okay.
Hey, don't squish it, and after it's dead, flush it down the toilet, okay? And flush it a couple of times.
Darling, I've been killing spiders since I was 30, okay? It's a very big spider.
Yeah?
A lot of trouble. There's 2 of them.
2?
Yep, I didn't think it was that big, but it's a major spider. You got a broom or something with a,
It's
snow
at
shovel
your
maybe or
house.
something?
I think I left it there. I'm sorry.
me have this.
Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Honey, there's a spider in your bathroom the size of a Buick.
Okay.
Hey, what is this? You got black soap?
It's for my complexion.
What are you joining a minstrel show? Don't worry.
All right, Alvy and Annie doing what they do, the many versions of love. Once again, we see 3 different films, and they bring us through 3 different stages. Love changes, love evolves, love becomes. What does it make you feel? Let me put this out there to all of you now. You've seen so many different representations. Is there something, any one of these characters or any one of these moments that either makes your heart jump or stop or break a little bit or mend a little bit? What are you feeling about love with all these different versions of it floating around here on Valentine's Day? I see Karen.
You have to care enough to be sensitive to and be what the other person needs.
Yeah. And that is a compassionate version of it right now. And I'm seeing right here in some of the chat, I think you have to learn to love because it is selfless. Yeah, it's really good. and reminding our loved ones that they are of a high value. I think that's another good one. To cherish each other, to cherish oneself. Absolutely. I see Rena and then Jessica. Let's go Rena and then Jessica.
So, hi, everybody. Love is for me, as I have lived my life, started to live my life in way different ways, that you can see and feel love in many different ways. I wasn't able previously to see love as it is, but I just waited for something. But now I know that love is everywhere. You have to sense it, and love could be a thing I would never noticed before, but now I notice.
So there's an awakening, an opening, an allowance, an acceptance for love. That's beautiful, Rena. Thank you very much. Jessica. Oh, you have to unmute yourself, dear. Can't hear you.
Just to bounce off of that, love is transcendent.
Yeah.
It bounces off and we never know where it's going to land.
That's right. Yeah. And again, it's all around us and transcendent, and really up to us to decide at what level we want to engage. A couple other things that you guys have written here, very beautiful things in the chat. Thank you so much for that. I see things like always trying to do each other in kindness, that idea of love. And another one saying, weaving lives together the way they wove their voices together in West Side Story. That's very, very beautiful. Love is compassion, and that there's a lot of acceptance here. That's another one. Accepting you're not who you once were, that you have to accept help and love from others. And then the acceptance that, well, it doesn't matter. You are still what you are to her. In this case, looking back on Golden Pond, the knight in shining armor still, regardless of what it looks or feels like. That's who you are. That's who we are, right? This is a really, really beautiful way of being together. And thank you. I see another note here, Peter saying, show up, show up, show up. And that's what you've all done for each other today. You've showed up for each other for this hero's journey of love. I mean, one thing I can say for sure, and looking and feeling all of these things together, is that, the simple, I would say, commercial hallmark idea of love is not really the representation of the hero's journey of love. These movies really show us both the pain and the pleasure of love, the pride and the terror and all the different ways that people experience it. When we think about West Side Story, and here it says, I have a love and it's all that I have, right or wrong, what else can I do? There's a desperation around love, this idea of it not being able to be fulfilled because of societal and cultural pressures. I mean, the terror of that. And then the idea of On Golden Pond, the idea of loss of love and loss of life. And, you think of, him reflecting his own life against looking up at that tree and seeing, this is somewhere I know, but yet I'm completely lost in this space. So there's self-love and the loss of love in the world. And as she says to him later, she says, Norman, you really are the sweetest man in the world, but I'm the only one who knows it, because his love is caught inside of all that fear and, frankly, probably a degenerative process in his mind to where he can't even think as much as he'd like to. He's a brilliant man who's starting to lose that space in the world. And in Annie Hall, he tells her, and finally declaring his love for her later on, Albie says, love is too weak a word for what I feel. I love you. I love you. I love you. Yes, 2 F's. Yes. So love is indeed not even a big enough word for what we feel for what love is and how we wish to express it. So to all of you, I ask for this, and please put it in the chat. What do you do when love is too difficult or too scary? Do you quit? Do you keep trying? What happens? Because as we've seen represented many times here on the hero's journey, there are times when love is just overwhelming for many reasons, depending on the time of life, the way we feel about it, even when we're with those whom we love. What if we've lost the love of ourselves and we can't express it anymore? So What do you do when love is too difficult or scary? Do you quit? Do you keep trying? Again, please put that in the chat as we roll forward into our final 3 stages of love. And this is going to be the first one here, another familial love from the movie 16 Candles. In this, Molly Ringwald is Samantha, and she's 16, and she's in love with the boy who's way out of her league. She's been humiliated on every level, in home and in her personal life, including the family forgetting her 16th birthday and nerdy Ted borrowing her underwear to win a bet. Oh dear, life this day has been awful. Now it's time for Dad to show her some love. Let's take a listen.
Sam. Sweetheart.
Daddy?
Hi, kiddo.
What's wrong?
Everything's fine. I was just upstairs and I couldn't sleep. I feel like a real jerk, honey. We forgot your birthday. I bet you really pee out, huh?
No, it's okay. I'm not really all that upset anymore.
This wedding is really turning this entire house inside out. And I just came down to tell you that we did remember.
Thanks, Dad.
Happy birthday. Something else wrong?
No, why?
I don't know. I just get the feeling that something's bothering you. Something other than your birthday.
No, I'm fine. Really.
I think I know what it is. Has to do with a certain guy? I know, honey, I know. We're all upset that Ginny's marrying a bohunk. What's the matter?
I meant Jake.
Jake? Wait a minute, I thought she said his name was Rudy.
Forget it.
Forget what? Who's Jake?
He's a boy, Daddy. It's nothing. Okay? Just forget it, please.
Come on, Sam, we're not communicating.
It's extremely embarrassing, okay?
What's embarrassing?
Sitting in the dark with your dad, telling him about your love life.
I'm afraid you lost me again, Sam.
Jake is a senior, and he's beautiful and perfect. I like him a real lot, and he doesn't like me, okay?
Oh.
And he's got this incredible girlfriend. I'm just this ridiculous dork that's following him around like a puppy.
Why do you think you're a dork? I don't think you're a dork. I don't think Mom thinks you're a dork.
Mike thinks I'm a dork.
Mike is a dork.
Well, so am I.
Well, if it's any consolation, I love you. And if this guy can't see in you all the beautiful and wonderful things that I see, then he's got the problem.
I know. It just hurts.
That's why they call them crushes. If they were easy, they'd call them something else.
Yeah, if I were Ginny, I'd have this guy crawling on his knees.
Well, let me tell you something about Jenny. Now, I love her as much as I love you, but she's a different person. Sometimes I worry about her. You know, when you're given things kind of easily, you don't always appreciate them. With you, I'm not worried. When it happens to you, Samantha, it'll be forever. Well, I don't think I'll be able to sleep if I don't feel this little talk has helped you. So would you be a sport and lie to me?
Yeah, sure, Daddy.
Good night, sweetheart.
Good night.
Oh, one more thing, sweetheart.
What?
When you do find the right guy, don't let him boss you around. Make sure he knows you wear the pants in the family.
And those are the pants, her pants, as it were. So this is the road back to where we're headed, and that means we're back in the ordinary world, which means this love, this heroic journey is just about reached its climax. This is when we reach the point of resurrection, and this is when something or someone has to die. And well, we're going to a movie that's all about that. In this movie, Patrick Swayze has died. However, he's not ready to go yet. There's one more piece of business he has to attend to, and that's really taking care of Demi Moore's character, Molly, in this. So Molly doesn't believe, of course, what's going on. Molly doesn't understand the circumstances. She just knows that she's still feeling for Sam. And Sam is able to, thankfully, find the beautiful, beautiful Whoopi and what she does for him, and help her believe that Sam did love her, which is going to help her heal. Let's take a look at this resurrection of love.
Why are you doing this to me? Do you hear me? Why are you doing this to me? I just can't.
Oda May, tell her she's wearing the shirt that I spilt the margarita on and the earrings I gave her for Christmas.
Molly, Sam says to tell you you're wearing the shirt that he spilled the margarita on and the earrings he gave you for Christmas. Don't you see I'm not a fake? Not about this.
Give me a penny, quick.
What?
Push a penny under the door now.
You be talking about push a penny under the door.
Just do it. Tell her it's for luck.
Sam says it's for luck.
Something has died, and what has died in this sense is doubt. What has died is disbelief, and it has allowed in the final love. And that's where we're going to head in this final stage of Hero, which is the return with Elixir. And it was mentioned at the very beginning in Harry Met Sally, the conclusion, the argument between Harry and Sally about what went down between Rick and Elsa. And we're going to see that right now. And this is the final moment between the two of them, where we see the ultimate test of love, which is sacrifice. Here we go. Return with Elixir.
Louis, have your man go with Mr. Laszlo and take care of his luggage.
Certainly, Rick. Anything you say. Try Mr. Laszlo's luggage and put it on the plane.
Yes, sir. This way, please. If you don't mind, you fill in the names. That'll make it even more official.
You think of everything, don't you?
And the names are Mr. and Mrs. Victor Laszlo.
But why my name, Richard?
Because you're getting on that plane.
I don't understand. What about you?
I'm staying here with him till the plane gets safely away.
No, Richard, no. What has happened to you? Last night
Last night we said a great many things. You said I was to do the thinking for both of us. Well, I've done a lot of it since then. It all adds up to one thing. You're getting on that plane with Victor where you belong.
But, Richard, no,
Now, you've got to listen to me. You have any idea what you'd have to look forward to if you stayed here? 9 chances out of 10, we'd both wind up at a concentration camp. Isn't that true, Louis?
I'm afraid Major Strasser would insist.
You're saying this only to make me go.
I'm saying it because it's true. Inside of us, we both know you belong with Victor. You're part of his work, the thing that keeps him going. If that plane leaves the ground and you're not with him, you'll regret it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon and for the rest of your life.
But what about us?
We'll always have Paris. We didn't have, we lost it until you came to Casablanca. We got it back last night.
When I said I would never leave you.
And you never will. But I've got a job to do too. Where I'm going, you can't follow. What I've got to do, you can't be any part of. Ilsa, I'm no good at being noble, but it doesn't take much to see that the problems of three little people don't amount to a hill of beans in this crazy world. Someday you'll understand that. Now. Here's looking at you, kid.
By the classic, the beautiful, the timeless, and once again, sacrifice brings us forward into the ultimate act, the ultimate finale for that which is love. So I ask all of you, now that you've been on this heroic journey of love, you've seen so many versions of love, you've seen so many representations of it. What do you feel? What do you notice? What is it that does it open your mind or your heart about what love could possibly be, how it's represented? Open forum. What do you think about love after all of this? Yes, BJ.
It's individual. You can only love the way that you love, so do it the best way you can.
Yeah, it's individual. It's yours. It's the only way you can. Again, it changes along the way, doesn't it? Yeah. Anybody else? What is your thought or your feeling about what love is, or what you notice perhaps in the different representations of it, the many different representations of it we saw? Does anything strike you or make you think, Brad? And then Rena?
Yeah, yes, and BJ, I think what I see today, there's just so many variations of it. It's so diverse. It's expressed so differently by so many different people. It's just wonderful to see the different approaches and sacrifices and love from all the different perspectives.
Do you find it at all, Brad, just following up, reinvigorating it all when you see these? Because we all, I think, can get tunnel visioned about our idea of love and so many other things. When you see the diversity, when you see that, does it reinvigorate you in some way?
For sure. I find it very inspiring to see all the different approaches and lenses used for love by different characters in these movies. It just opens my eyes to how unique and diverse it is.
I love it. Thanks so much, Brad. Rena, I saw your hand. Unmute yourself, my dear, and share with us.
Love is, for me, love is all about inspiration, because love could be hurting. Love could be like so blessed, and love can be like so little, but it is like, for me, always an inspiration, and all my best works, my best music, and my best comes out when I feel the love.
I'm so glad. Thank you for all of those different variant ideas of what love is and how the different ways we express it. I really appreciate it, Rena. I see Amy. Yes, Amy, please.
In all of these examples, I see a consistency of love being strong and loyal, almost committed to the person or thing that it's almost like love is a character. It's call it a sprite, whatever you want to call it. It's like it weaves in and out of our lives in different ways all the time, and it's that but it's always strong, and there's always some level of commitment.
Yeah, committed. And I see Yvonne. Yes, Yvonne.
Yeah. Love is something that when you have it in your life, whether from family or friends, it makes it possible for you to do anything and exceed all your own expectations.
It is. I think you've really put another spin on the word awe, and that came forward. Sharon wrote earlier that reflect and enjoy the new awe that has fallen upon us. This idea of something that is, we recognize that it's bigger than us. And it's not ours to hold or contain or control. It is ours to tap into. It is ours to grow for others. However, not to hold. Yes.
And it's not something you can easily deny either, nor should you. You know, you just be able to rationalize, you know, what's real. And if you plant a seed and it begins to grow, just cultivate those seeds of love, no matter where they fall, and just lean into all those unknowns. And
well, isn't it interesting too that, you know, there's the refusal of the call back in the third stage, which is a very human thing to say no to it for whatever reason, to go, I'd rather not grow that flower where it seemed to, you know, the seed seemed to take root. However, this is back to the reminder of awe that it's bigger than us. And Kelly, I believe I saw your hand.
Now, to me, love is sort of like watching a raindrop on the windshield of my car. I don't ever know where it's going, and sure as I think it's going to go one way and do one thing, it does the opposite. It may fracture and go a lot of different ways, become many things, and it may join and become one big thing. I mean, it's just no predicting it.
Yeah, a raindrop on the windshield. That's a beautiful metaphor. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I want to call out a few more things that are in this gorgeous template we're seeing here. By the way, Amy, I think you got the answer to your question, Amy or Susan. So that was something in the chat. Why is this other person named Amy Young showing up as me? Well, it's because she loves you and she renamed herself Amy Young. No, I'll put it. Susan,
I wish I had figured it out an hour and a half ago.
Do you want to add something, Susan?
Yes, I did. I think a lot of you know that I'm at the hospital right now with my husband, and I know at least one of us, a friend of mine from college, has been there all the way. And those challenges, the challenges when the one you love is hurting or is just in a place, it gives us a chance to find our best selves, see maybe the not so great moments, you know, when it's health challenges turn everything upside down. And yeah, bless you to those who can be present.
Well, thank you
for parents like you are, Robert, and others.
Well, the gift that you're giving all of us right now, that here you are in a literal crisis with the man of your life, over 50 years of marriage, going through a very painful thing, literally in the hospital, and you spend a few moments of time with us. What a gift.
Well, he was going to do it with me, and he was in so damn much pain. I said, sweetie, I'm not going to hold you to that.
Yeah.
I guess, you know, I did climb in bed with him this morning, and somebody took a picture of us. Yeah.
For anything you can offer. And I think all of us know the gift of you know, and the pain of love at various stages, whether it is, as you say, from romantic love or a familial love or a companionate love. These are all forms of love. We care. And the truth is that, yeah, sometimes love hurts. It is, in fact, because it does get punctuated, because it at some point goes away, that we're reminded of the need to take care of it every single day and every single chance we can. Because
and to take care of ourselves in the process.
The self-love. That's right.
Yeah.
When we lose that, we don't have anything to offer others. So very well said, Susan. And thank you so much for that, for this gift of being present with us at this moment. I really appreciate it. There's a few more things here in the chat I wanted to put forward to just again offer that, you know, these gorgeous words you've given to each other, that love is for everyone. I love that. And that, you know, I think in a long marriage, all the stages are there at different times. Yes, a marriage is absolutely a hero's journey unto itself, right? That love does empower, yes, and all these different things that bring us forward into this space of love. So thank you, all of you, for sharing these different versions of love, expressing them, going on the hero's journey together. I'll bring up just the last couple of slides here so you can see the opportunities in these last 3 films, and then talk about what's next should you want to continue your journey of love. In the last 3 films we saw again familial love, and Jake later on asks in the movie, I want a serious girlfriend, somebody I can love that's going to love me back. Is that Psycho? Teenage love and resurrection. This is the word, ditto, right? It couldn't be said until it could be said. So they offered ditto in place of love until I love you was understood. And in Casablanca, well, we know this is that star-crossed lover thing again. All the gin joints and all the towns and all the world, she walks into mine. This was something that wasn't supposed to be there anymore, and yet it was. So what happens when we lose love? If you want to offer any final thoughts, because love does end, that doesn't mean that it can't grow again. But we know this in various stages, in various ways. Wherever we feel love, there will be loss as well as the gain of something new. This is the cyclical pattern. And this is one of the reasons the hero's journey is such a great form to study, because it moves in a circle, because it reminds us time and time again that we're going to go from beginning to end and right back to the beginning again. So I want to just find out from you briefly. Thank you, first of all, everyone, for being here. Go ahead and put into the chat. How did you enjoy today's presentation? 1 would be, I hated it, I'll never be back again. 10 would be, I loved it. I want more of it. So anywhere from 1 to 10, go ahead and put that in the chat. How did you enjoy today's presentation? And a reminder that love grows when we share it. So that we're working here at Yes and Exercise, our nonprofit, to grow the love of yaks, right? And we offer these following programs if you enjoyed these. 1 is the Jam for Joy. That's improvisation. We play games together. You do not need to be performative at all. These are simple communication games where we spend time. We end up expressing a lot of love with each other. We laugh a lot. We play. And those are a couple times a week. So the Jam for Joy are here. So please take a look at that on our website. The other program is Cinema Therapy, similar to what you saw today, although we focus usually on 1 film at a time. Over the course of 16 weeks, we meet once a week together and we rewrite our narrative journeys together. So that's the curriculum-based class. We have 2 of them going on right now. 1 is with Back to the Future, the other with Shawshank Redemption. And then these are the monthly classes. And so you may know, if you've been to a couple of these, that we did the Christmas Hero's Journey for a couple of weeks in the holiday season. We did Michael J. Fox in January. The Hero's Journey of Love this month. And next month, well, it's going to be baseball. It's springtime. So if you enjoy this and you're at all a baseball fan, please come back next month. And in fact, be on Friday, March 14th for the next Hero's Journey. You can engage in many ways in the Yes and Exercise program. 1 is as a participant, whether it's in one of these classes or just playing along with us. We really love to have you there. You can also be a supporter. There, we are a nonprofit. If you wish to give to this so that others who can't afford our classes, the curriculum classes in particular, do cost, we appreciate your support very much because it allows people to continue to take these classes, explore their own heroes' journeys, and share their stories, many of which will be coming forward sooner than later. You'll get to see what people are doing with these. And then finally, as a fan, if you just want to spread the word, just tell other people. I went and saw this amazing thing. And you want to share the videos. They'll be up on our website. There's the Daily Dose of Dopamine, where we just talk about stuff, including love, for 5 minutes at a time. All these different ways to participate. And so that's my call to adventure with all of you, is that I hope each one of you will take the time to engage in Yes and Exercise and help us grow the love that we feel we're facilitating, because it takes each one of you to do that. So you made it here today. You've been to other presentations. I'm grateful for all of that. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say before we close with a song that says thank you and goodbye for the afternoon? Susan, yes.
I think I'd like to integrate, for maybe those who haven't been around for all of the types of things that happen at Yes and Exercise, how all the things that we do support each other and then translate into real life. I was talking with a professional person today who saw that change in me. And I said, this sounds crazy, but it started with playing improv games and getting challenged to be different, bigger ways that I, wasn't. And that led to writing and then being challenged to, don't make it so sweet, Susan. It could be, it could be scary, or it could be, something and die and and I for anybody considering the cinema therapy course, it's amazing what happens in your writing experience. And you're prepped for it. It's really a cool thing you've put together here, Dr. Cochran. Thank you.
Susan, I appreciate that. Nice to see your hand.
Good times are had here, life lessons are learned here, and yeah, what Susan said, my doctors are amazed, and that's doctors from 2 different states, of how much I've been able to transition. And this theme of love, he goes with themes a lot with our songs, but the theme of love is one of the more recurrent ones. And the way you put it together here is I was blown away by the Christmas one, but this one's above and beyond that. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. And, it's for any of you who've ever been to 12-step groups, we're not a 12-step group, but it does apply. It works if you work it, right? There's no magic pills here. There's nothing there. However, what there is a lot of opportunity and a lot of each other. And what I find, as much as anything in 5+ years of doing this now, is that we become better when more people feel empowered to tell their story, to tell their whole story, and to be truthful, to be loving, to be vulnerable, courageous, daring, all of these, they're full selves. And that's what we discover when we play, whether it's improvisation or we explore through cinema therapy and discuss, debate, and, get it wrong and pull our hair out and go crazy. We do that together. And it's so much better together than, by the way, all those things which can happen independently too. So this is what we provide for each other. This is the foundation of love that Yes and Exercise is. It's a community, and everyone is welcome. Like I said, we certainly, because of my father having Parkinson's and being diagnosed 23 years ago, that's the reason for the season. I work with the Parkinson's community. At the same time, the more people we bring in, regardless of where you're coming from, the more the Parkinson's community is going to benefit, because the stuff that people with Parkinson's go through, it's universal, and it's not just about tremors. Anybody who thought that Parkinson's was just this, I'm here to tell you, unfortunately, you've gotten about this much of the story, and it's time for all of us to raise our voices and share the whole story so that we can find a cure for this stupid disease. Because as some of the most learned doctors say, it's very likely man-made. That means we can end it too, okay? And it can happen with love. It can happen with raising our voices. It can happen with sharing all of our voices. So with that in mind, I'm going to play a final song and say thank you to everybody. And if you want to sing along to the final song, it's a great one. It's Where We Got to Put Love, and that's right in your heart. Here we go.
Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait. I see another day goes by, and still the children cry. You your heart. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. Yes, baby. See,
Everybody, that's what we do. That's who we are. I want to thank you again for being here today, for sharing this hero's journey of love. It will be up on our website, yesandexercise.org. Please go there, find it. If you want to share it with others and say, this was great, there's more to come, there's ways to be involved. And we can't do it without all of you. So thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Valentine's Day. Go share love. All right. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's so great to see you.